Leeds United claimed a 2-1 victory at Old Trafford for the first time in 45 years. A result that has left Manchester United's Champions League qualification hopes in genuine jeopardy. A result that has handed Liverpool the most perfect boost imaginable heading into their own huge week. And a result that happened not because Leeds were significantly better than United, not because Carrick's side were outplayed or outclassed, but because a VAR official studying footage of an aerial challenge decided that Lisandro Martinez pulling Dominic Calvert-Lewin's hair constituted violent conduct worthy of a straight red card, while completely ignoring the fact that at the exact same moment in the exact same challenge, Calvert-Lewin had his hand wrapped around Martinez's throat. Let that sink in for a moment. The attacking player had his hand on the defender's throat. At the exact same time. In the exact same challenge. VAR reviewed the footage. The referee walked to the monitor, looked at the screen and sent Martinez off for the hair pull, while the hand on the throat was treated as if it did not exist. As if it was not there. As if the footage that millions of people watching around the world could see with their own eyes was somehow invisible to the officials making the most consequential decision of the entire match. United fans are absolutely furious, and they have every right to be. The reaction on social media has been explosive and unanimous in its verdict. Supporter after supporter pointing at the same moment, the same frame, the same clear and obvious evidence that Calvert-Lewin's hand was on Martinez's throat at the precise second that the hair pull was being highlighted as a red card offence. One supporter summed it up perfectly, asking how Calvert-Lewin can snatch at his throat while Martinez gets sent off for pulling hair. Another described it as the most embarrassing red card they have ever seen. A third asked simply why that is okay if the hair pull is not. Roy Keane, a man not known for defending Manchester United's modern players with any particular generosity, looked at the footage and said what most fair-minded observers were thinking. Both players were grappling in the air, Keane said. Martinez pulled his hand away as soon as he realised it was on the hair. If that is a red card, the game has gone soft. Keane went further, pointing out that clear fouls on United players throughout the match involving Casemiro and Mazraoui were ignored entirely, adding another layer of frustration to what was already an evening defined by officiating decisions that consistently seemed to work against the home side. Gary Neville took a different view on Sky Sports, saying bluntly that you are not getting away with a hair pull and that Martinez knew what he was doing. And technically, in the cold letter of the law, Neville has a point. Hair pulling is indeed classified as violent conduct in the modern game. The precedent was set earlier this season when Everton's Michael Keane was sent off for exactly the same offence against Wolverhampton Wanderers. The laws are the laws and the officials applied them. But the point that United supporters and Roy Keane are making is not that the hair pull should have been ignored. It is that the simultaneous throat grab by Calvert-Lewin should have received exactly the same scrutiny from the same officials using the same technology. And it did not. The same VAR review that found Martinez guilty of violent conduct in one frame somehow failed to identify Calvert-Lewin's hand on a player's throat in the very same frame of the very same incident. That selective application of the technology is what makes this decision so infuriating and so difficult to accept for everyone at this football club. If VAR exists to ensure correct decisions are made using all available evidence, how does the same review process identify one act of violent conduct and completely miss another that is visible in the same image at the same time? There is no satisfactory answer to that question, and the silence from the officiating authorities on the matter speaks volumes. The context of what this red card costs Manchester United makes the injustice even harder to swallow. Martinez was sent off on his return from injury, his first appearance since February after the calf problem that kept him out of 5 consecutive matches. He lasted just 55 minutes of his comeback before being dismissed in circumstances that left him perplexed and confused, as Neville himself described, because the player was genuinely shocked that his actions had been identified while Calvert-Lewin's simultaneously had not. And now Martinez will serve a 3-match ban that rules him out of the 3 most important games remaining in United's entire season. Chelsea away, Brentford at home, Liverpool at home. 3 fixtures that will determine whether Manchester United secure Champions League football next season or fall agonisingly short at the final hurdle. 3 fixtures where the defensive quality and the defensive leadership that Martinez brings would have been absolutely essential for a backline already missing Matthijs de Ligt indefinitely and managing a squad stretched thin by the demands of a demanding final run-in. The game itself deserves honest assessment beyond the red card controversy. Leeds arrived at Old Trafford and produced exactly the kind of organised, physical and determined performance that Daniel Farke's team is capable of on the right day. Noah Okafor's double before half-time was genuinely well taken and left United with an enormous mountain to climb, a mountain that became an almost vertical cliff face when Martinez received his marching orders just 11 minutes into the second half. Casemiro headed in from Bruno Fernandes's 17th assist of the Premier League season to make it 2-1 and give United a glimmer of hope. But 10 men against a side fighting for their lives in a relegation battle and defending a 2-goal lead with 25 minutes remaining was always going to be an extraordinarily difficult task. Leeds held on. United could not find the equaliser, and Old Trafford was left stunned by a result that nobody had anticipated, and that feels deeply and profoundly unjust given the specific circumstances surrounding the decisive moment of the match. Kobbie Mainoo's absence from the matchday squad was the other significant pre-match surprise, with Carrick making 4 changes and the United Academy graduate not even being named among the substitutes. Whether that was a precautionary fitness decision or a tactical choice will be scrutinised heavily in the days ahead, and the absence of Mainoo's energy and his ability to progress the ball through midfield was felt in a second half where United were desperately trying to find a way back into the game while a man down. The implications of Monday's defeat ripple through the entire Premier League top 4 race in the most damaging possible way for United. They are now level on 55 points with Aston Villa in 4th place after Villa drew against Nottingham Forest at the weekend. Liverpool sit in 5th place on 52 points, just 3 behind United, having beaten Fulham and having the enormous additional boost of seeing United slip up in the most dramatic and most unexpected fashion. Liverpool's remaining fixtures include the trip to Old Trafford on the 3rd of May, a fixture that now takes on even greater significance given the tightness of the race, and Chelsea at home on May the 9th, where the two clubs could be directly battling for a top 4 position in one of the most consequential single fixtures of the entire Premier League campaign. And Martinez will not be available for Chelsea, he will not be available for Brentford, he will not be available for Liverpool. 3 consecutive matches, the 3 matches that will almost certainly decide United's Champions League fate. Gone in the 56th minute of a defeat at Old Trafford for a decision that every honest observer of the game can see was applied inconsistently and incompletely by officials who had the technology to make the right call and used it to make only half of it. Carrick will address the media this week, and his response to the defeat, to the red card and to the broader challenge facing his squad with 5 games remaining will tell us something important about the character of this management and this team, because the situation is genuinely difficult now in a way that it was not 48 hours ago. The lead over Liverpool has been slashed. Martinez is missing for the most critical run of games. Maguire is already suspended and available only from the second of those 3 games. And the defensive options available to Carrick for the Chelsea and Liverpool fixtures are a shadow of what he had expected to be working with at this stage of the season. But Manchester United have been in difficult positions before under Carrick and found a way through. They have shown resilience and determination and the collective belief that comes from a squad that genuinely trusts each other and genuinely trusts the man in the dugout. The injustice of what happened on Monday night should not be minimised or accepted quietly. The failure to apply the same standard to both players in the same incident is indefensible from a VAR perspective, and United are entitled to be angry about it. But anger without action changes nothing. The only response that matters now is on the pitch. Chelsea away. Win. Brentford at home. Win. Liverpool at home. Win. 3 matches. 3 must-win fixtures. With a weakened defensive core. Against 3 teams who will all arrive with the belief that Manchester United's Champions League dream is there to be taken. Carrick built something extraordinary at this club since January. The quiet revolution that produced 11 wins from 12 games and restored the belief of a fan base that had almost given up is real, and it is meaningful, and it cannot be undone by one bad night and one outrageous refereeing decision. United were robbed on Monday night. The The football world saw it. The footage proves it. Now the only question is whether this squad has the character to stand back up, dust themselves off, and prove that what was taken from them at Old Trafford by a VAR official and a referee can be reclaimed on the pitch in the weeks ahead. Moreover,